Alright guys, so we've got some more Sony news and some Canon news coming today from the rumor mills, because we all know how we like to hear about the new upcoming Sony cameras, as well as for those of us that are Canon guys, that's myself included. It's nice to know what's possibly coming out, and again, what's already here, I guess. So we're gonna look at some of the new rumors in regards to both Sony and Canon coming up right now. But first, before we get into that, I got a package from Amazon. Amazon needs to do better. Amazon needs to do better, not in their delivery. I think their delivery is doing pretty good, but in regards to their packaging. Ready? So here's the box I got right here. This is the box. It's, you know, it's seems like a good sized box, but when you crack it open, yeah, that's it. That's all. You know, it's like, why this? Now this is just gonna go in the recycling or garbage or whatever people do with it. We'll put it in recycling, of course. That just seems like a lot of waste, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem like a lot of waste? Come on, Amazon. You can do better. You can do better. There's no need for a box that's 20 times the size of this. Review for that product coming up shortly, I guess. Soon. Alright, let's talk about some of the rumors. First off, we'll get over to Sony. So first off, there has been a couple more Sony A7S III rumors that have come out. So we're seeing Source One autofocus system similar to the A7R4. Video record button they're saying is now going to be on the top of the camera behind the shutter button. Big deal? Maybe for some of you, I guess. 4K raw output, yes, but unsure if the 4K 120 FPS will have raw output, and did not say if it's 16-bit or not. I guess if you're using this as a cinema camera, that's going to be possibly a concern. For the rest of us, I don't think it will be. It does say that the raw output firmware is not available, but Atomos, those that make the Ninja 5 for instance, is working on supporting the A7S III's HDMI output signal, so that's good. Dynamic range they say is 15 tested by Sony, so they're guessing in real life 13 to 14. So that brings it down a fair bit if it goes from 15 to 13. 13 stops, great. 14 stops, nice. 15 stops, woohoo. But if it's in reality 13, that may switch modes, because that was a big one for me. I was like, oh, 15 stops, that's really impressive. Dials. Looking from the back of the camera, they said video dial for video mode selection left to the electronic viewfinder, photo dial for photo mode right of the viewfinder. Touch functions available when navigating the menu, and it has a removable port door, 2 USB-C ports, 1 micro HDMI, no flash sync port. So if those that want that, nope, no flash sync port for you. Here they say is one of the unfortunates, and they don't say how much. It says there will be a crop on the 4K, a small one, similar to the A7S II. Also, the 4K 60 will be 10-bit 422 internal. That's still not bad, but I am curious to know what that 4K crop will be, because as a Canon shooter, we all know the Canon crop was a huge issue on pretty much every camera that Canon released that was 4K that had any kind of crop. Even the Canon R6 now, people are talking about it, and it has a 1.07 crop, which really is nothing, but people are blowing it out of proportion. So I'm really concerned, or curious, I guess is a better word, as to what their crop is going to be in 4K. The other one here is they are talking, of course, with the overheating, and that they don't have an overheating issue, but it says at least when recording for 1 hour. So can it overheat? Again, once the camera gets into people's hands, people start really testing it in conditions that this thing could possibly overheat. That's when you and I will actually know if there's an overheating issue. But they're saying 1 hour. 1 hour is a good time frame. But again, even the R6 in like 4K 30 goes 40 minutes. And in 4K 24, supposedly it goes indefinite with no overheating. So again, I'm curious to see what they say. I'm more curious to see what real life will tell us. Source number 5, I can confirm 4K 60 10-bit unlimited recording time. That's cool. I can confirm at least 180 frames per second in 1080 with autofocus and sound. Downsampled 1080 from 4K. No internal RAW. A new codec similar to FX9 and no 6K. Definitely some pluses in the features, but as the camera starts to get closer to the announcement, we are also starting to see some of the features that may have not been posted during some of the initial leaks. Now we're starting to see possibly some of the little negatives. It's not all rainbows and sunshine and lollipops, I guess. But there's no such thing as a perfect camera. There's always going to be someone out there that finds a little flaw. Everybody wants the perfect camera for $0. The two don't match. So if you want to spend this, you'll get this. If you want to spend this, you'll get this. It is what it is. The other rumor for Sony in regards to the A7S III was pricing. So pricing now for the Sony A7S III is rumored to come in around that $3,500 US mark. That's the rumor out there. Now, do you guys think that that's a little high for the camera you're getting? You're now shooting within about $500 of the Canon R5 and $1,000 more than the Canon R6. So you really have to look at the specs, and it's either a really good move or not, depending on how you look at it, because that camera really does fit in between the R6 and the R5. So if you found the R5 too expensive and it didn't give you all that 4K features that you kind of wanted, then the Sony kind of fits in really nice right there. Now again, if you found that the R6 was good, but you didn't mind spending a little bit more money to get a couple more features, then again, that Sony A7S III could just be a nice little bump up if $1,000 doesn't seem like a lot of money. For me, $1,000 US seems like a lot of money. And the more I see the feature set, I think it would be, for me again, this is me, money that I didn't need to spend. So most of you know I've already put my money down on the R6, and I'm still happy with that decision that I've made. Until something else comes out that I'm like, oh, that's nice. Alright, what about Canon? What has Canon been doing? So, number one with Canon. This is a big thing. I did this last night. For those of us that have either a Canon EOS R or a Canon EOS RP, and for most of you, you know that I shoot this camera right here in EOS RP. We are now seeing new firmware updates. So now we are seeing firmware updates for, again, the Canon EOS R, RP, so that we have the ability to use all those new RF lenses that have come out. I was hoping to see some additional features, and maybe they may be buried in there for some bug releases, things like that. But as of now, I didn't see anything. Not a huge firmware in regards to size. It's only about 35-ish megs for a download. Does take a little bit of time. Make sure you do it with full battery. If you're doing this with an SD card, firmware in there, bring it into your camera. Make sure it's on program mode. You should see firmware and you can update through there. If you do download the update file, there is a PDF in multiple languages, shows you how to do it all. But for those of us that have an R or an RP, go get it, because it's gonna add compatibility to some of these new lenses coming out, which is always good. Always nice to see them doing some stuff with the old cameras, I think. For those that are curious about image quality from the R5, the R6, and some of the new lenses, Canon Rumours does have a link, as you can see here. This link will take you to the Fred Miranda forums, and once you click on that, you can see a bunch of images that you can take a look at. So R5 images, you can click on this, and you will have, now these could be big. Make sure you have a web browser that allows you to translate, because these will be coming in Japanese. Unless you are from Japan, then just leave it the way it is. But you can actually see these in large photo. Gives you a nice big image. You can kind of see image clarity. These look like they may be full-size images, but are in JPEG, of course. And you can see on my computer here how long this is taking to download. This is one of the R5 images, so I'm going to just stop that right now. If I were to go back here to the R6, these ones definitely come down a bit faster. So we'll do like this one here. Not much faster, but but this is going to be a full-size version of that image. Oh yeah, that's coming down quicker for sure. So if you guys want to be able to take these images into your favorite editor, play around with them, that's full size right there. You can kind of see what that image detail is going to be like. I think it looks very good. I think it'll be a very nice way to play with some of those images, especially for those that don't have the camera yet, like the R6, which isn't coming out till later on this month. Last thing that we've kind of seen is that for those that were waiting on the new, possibly 5D Mark V, no, you're not getting it. Doesn't look like it's happening. Done. Looks like the 7D has gone, 5D is gone, and Canon is moving full force into mirrorless. So, seems to be where they have planted all their seeds, and the 5D Mark series maybe no longer. There you go, my friends. That is a little bit of the rumors and updates that have come out over the last few days. As always, I will be monitoring these few websites to see what's coming out, especially as we get closer to release of the R6. Of course, as we get closer to the 28th of July with Sony's announcement. And I'm sure once that happens, the rumors won't stop. There's already rumors of the M50 Mark II from Canon, etc., etc. So, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Later, my friends. Did you see the little wink? I don't know why I did that, but it's there. Accept it. Embrace it. Love it. Later.